Exploitation or cinema verite? Well, cinema verite is just a type of documentary that's straightforward. You can see other documentaries where they'll, film something, and without, hearing what the people are saying, there'll be an overdub of someone talking, and at this time, we had to think, blah, 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 and then they'll add all sorts of, different shots and things like that. Cinema verite is just direct cinema. That's what it means. It means they're just taking direct film and audio, and it stays just like that. They don't overdub their voices. They don't, make shots that have nothing to do with what's going on just for effect. They shoot what they see, and they keep the audio and keep what is said, and they don't cut anything out. So people say, now this film is just straight exploitation. Well, here's the thing. Little Edie always wanted to be a star. She was 57 when this documentary was started, and she was a little, weird about it at first, as Edie is. But as soon as she realized that this was her chance to become famous, she took it. She was very happy with it. Now, as far as exploitation, like they didn't get money, they did. They got a settled amount. Documentaries really did not make money at that time. Nowadays we had Netflix and Hulu and all that grand stuff, and people make money. The documentary I'm going to do on Grey Gardens is a labor of love. Now, would I love to get rich? Of course. You know why? Because I spent 10 years on the streets suffering, and more years, in slums suffering. And I spent most of my time since I got out of that helping the poor. I would love to start programs, big programs, because I know what these people actually need, and most of the programs nowadays really do just exploit them. But I digress. This film was not about exploitation. The Maisels had already made money making salesman, and Give Me Shelter about Altamont. They were professors at Boston University. They were both in the Army. They had money. So it's not like they got rich. When this came out, it did pretty good around New York and, in the U.S. for a very short time. It wasn't until many, 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 many years later when the internet became a thing and social media became a thing and YouTube became a thing and streaming services that a kind of renaissance came back. And also the Broadway Grey Gardens and off-Broadway Grey Gardens musical, started interest again. And that's when they started making some money. As far as what Jerry tells me, no one owns the rights to Grey Gardens anymore. That I know you can stream it on a lot of services, but you can stream it free on YouTube. Who gets money? I don't know. Jerry doesn't know. All the things that were said, the shots, the photos, the Maisels are gone. And I just can't find how they exploited them. The HBO film, Grey Gardens HBO, but no, that was straight exploitation. Why? Because they took people that were very real, situations that were very real, and they changed them. They changed what was said. They changed what was done. They changed the feeling, the mood, people's reactions. They changed everything about it for drama and to make them money. They offered Lois only $100 for a book she had written on what really happened. And of course, Lois turned it down, so they didn't even put her in there. So that's how Hollywood treats them. Hollywood is going to be who exploits Grey Gardens. And that's why I'm working on the documentary for myself. Doesn't matter who's in it or who's not. I already have the information and I know what I'm doing and how to do it. Because I'm not going to... The reason I'm doing it is because I want people to know what was really going on. And I have the knowledge and I have the people that really know what was going on. And I don't give a shit about the money. This is a labor of love. This is because I love them. They helped me through some of the hardest times of my life. And if I make money off of it, it'll go to other people that are suffering. I don't need a Lamborghini. I've got 2 feet, and I got a bus, and I have 1 car. I'm fine. But as far as exploitation, no. It was cinema verite. It was exactly what the Maisels said was going to happen. They didn't lie about anything they did. And they cared. Like when Big Edie died, they were there. Little Edie didn't live in the funeral because she's little Edie. And Edie could be like that. But they genuinely cared about each and everybody that was in the film. So when you hear people say, you know, it's exploitation, well, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know anybody that was in the film. They only just say things for drama and to bring people in for likes. And that's all there is to it. The Maisel brothers presented something into the world and did what little Edie wanted it. And it brought attention to how women during the Gilded Age were really treated.